It gives us, from several audiences, a perspective on what they believe is happening in the building. Since one of our major structures for our Small Learning Communities grant happened to be instructional strategies, we were particularly interested in how students felt about the classroom and their experience inside the classroom. And I think that revealed some pieces that was real important for the staff to hear and understand how students felt, what kind of environments they preferred versus others. And that sort of underscored our interest in trying to pursue more research-based best practice types of strategies that are becoming more and more important for us to be able to use.
We can't think of school as some isolated class or isolated piece of curriculum or isolated test, and then we measure kids and we move them on. Schools are systems, schools are organizations, schools are systems in which students participate in. They want to have they have relationships. We can think of engagement as this relationship between the student and adults, student and their peers, student and the school community, student and curriculum, student and instruction. And what HSSE does is to bring out, ask the students, what do you think about all these relationships? What's your view of your relationship to the school community? We've seen a lot of real consistency in the data over at least the last 4 years, from 2006 to 2009. This past year we had almost 43,000 students participate. Over 4 years we've had more than 300,000 students participate, and we see a lot of the same issues coming up. Students are bored in school. They tell us similar reasons why. They don't find the material interesting. They don't find it relevant. Similar percentages of students thinking about dropping out, and the reasons why they're dropping out are they're given the same. So what we're seeing is each year a very similar data, some different schools, lots of different students, but we are seeing some of the same themes. What we're also seeing now, and one of the highlights of this report, is now new ways that schools are beginning to use the data and address some of these issues. They're not just one-time pop-ups of this issue just showed up in this year, or these kids in this particular school or region. We're now seeing these trends of kids describing these issues, and similar percentage of students saying similar things across years. And so what's new then are the ways in which schools are using the data and trying to make effective use of that to try to engage all their students.
It has helped our efforts immensely as we look at student engagement and how we can use that to inform our practices within the implementation of our grant. When we are in the hall and we acknowledge a student and they smile back or say hello, we know we've made progress. Several years ago, you could walk down this hall and people didn't have the same eye contact we have now. We
felt first if teachers could not connect adequately to kids in the classroom, then it was going to be really difficult to have a successful advisory program. So we wanted to start there, for instance. And so the kinds of connections, the kinds of learning, and all the things that HSSE could give us data back about regarding their feelings became an important component for us. And as we take a look at that over time, I think we're able to see some shifts, for instance, in how students perceive their education as being played out. When HSSE said that students think that they like these kinds of environments, but their teachers aren't using these kinds of strategies to teach to us, I think we're past the point of being defensive to, well, maybe they have a point. You know, if we're seeing it there, then maybe that's the piece that we need to work on. And so we've done that over the course of the last couple of years into this year, the third year. So I think HSSE becomes even more important to us moving forward in that regard.